The Ballers opened the second half of the Pioneer League season with a 3-1 win last night in Glacier. Tonight, they turn to Reed Butts for what could be a sixth straight Ballers win. Reed trying to tie a franchise record tonight with his seventh victory. His franchise record is 7 wins in a season set by the Ballers last year. Two different pitchers had a 7-win season. Reed Butts trying to do that in just game 50. That's right. We still got a bunch more games after this one tonight. 46 games left in this Pioneer League season. Good evening and welcome to Glacier Bank Park in Kalispell, Montana, as the Oakland Ballers visit the Glacier Range Riders for the second game of a 6-game series. I'm Devonta Cullen, and you're listening to Oakland Baseball on 860 AM The Answer and on YouTube. Last night, a 3-1 win for the Oakland Ballers. They were no-hit through 4 innings last night before finally breaking things open in the 5th. It was a Trey Cobb ground out that brought the first run home. Then an Isai Santos 2-run triple down the right field line that proved to be the difference in the ballgame. Meanwhile, for Oakland on the mound, Zach St. Pierre sparkled 6 innings with just 3 hits allowed, no runs. The second time he's had that exact line this season. He also struck out 5. St. Pierre earned the win, his 4th of the season. Caleb Franzen pitched a couple innings of relief, allowing a homer to TJ Clarkson. That was the only run allowed by Oakland, as Connor Sullivan pitched a scoreless 9th for his league-leading 11th save of the season. So with that win, the Ballers started the second half victorious. The Ballers, who are the best team in terms of record in all of professional baseball so far this season at 38-11. Are led by Aaron Miles in his second year. His managerial record, by the way, now is up to 68-26. That's not too shabby. Here's how the Ballers will line up today. Tremaine Cobb Jr. is the shortstop leading off. Nick Leahy, the third baseman, hits second. Davis Druick, the left fielder, bats third. Daniel Harris, the fourth, is the second baseman cleaning up. Cam Buford, the right fielder, bats fifth. Christian Almanza, first baseman, in the 6th spot. Dylan Tatum, catcher, bats 7th. Jake Allgaier, the recent debutant. He made his Oakland debut last night, and he'll bat 8th tonight and DH. Then Darryl Buggs, the second, is the center fielder, hitting 9th. Oakland will turn to Reed Butts on the hill. As I mentioned, Reed this season has 6 wins. He's going for a 76-1 with a 4.53 ERA. 8 starts, 43 2/3 innings pitched, 48 hits, 22 walks to 29 strikeouts for Reed, who has won 4 straight decisions. He'll be opposed by Ty Bothwell for the Glacier Range Riders. Range Riders are 17-32 this year, 0-1 to start the second half of the Pioneer League season. They've lost their last 2 games. They are 7-15 at home. They've really struggled here in Kalispell and struggled for the most part this season. The Range Riders will lead off Kyle Ashworth, the left fielder. Todd Pratt, by the way, is the manager in his first year. Gabe Howell, the shortstop, bats second. Logan Beard, second baseman, hits third. Xavier Casarella is the DH cleaning up. TJ Clarkson, right fielder, hits 5th. He has hit 5 homers against the Ballers this year, including one last night. Kingston Liniak is the center fielder, batting 6th. Josh Rago gets the start tonight. The Walnut Creek native plays first base and hits 7th. Angel Mendoza is the catcher, batting 8th. And JT Mabry back into the lineup for Glacier. Mabry hits 9th. Mabry, the third baseman, is the son of John Mabry, who played for the A's back in 2002. Glacier taking the field right now wearing their home white uniforms, rifle green numerals on the back, matching caps, that same green color. And Range Riders in rifle green, cursive script across the chest with red numbers. The mountain goat on that green cap for Glacier. That goat goes by the name of Cliff. That's their primary mascot. Oakland wore the Oakland Stands Up black uniforms yesterday. Today it's the green road uniforms with Ballers in gold across the chest, gray pants, and the gray hats with the bees in green, that logo on the front of the hat. Reed Butts warming up in the bullpen. Glacier still taking the field, and we will step aside. First pitch, when you return on the other side of the break, it's Oakland and Glacier here from Kalispell on 860 AM The Answer. Ballers, Range Riders here from Kalispell. Game 2 of a 6-game set. Game 2 of the second half of the Pioneer League season. I'm Nevada Cullen, Chris Dorr, back in our 860 AM The Answer studios. And the Ballers, Tremaine Cobb, will come up to the plate momentarily against the starter for Glacier today. It's Ty Bothwell. They call him the zookeeper. I'll explain why later. Basically, he's got a lot of pets, some exotic ones at that. Bothwell has allowed 6 or more earned runs in 3 of his last 4 starts, including Thursday at Billings, a 9-4 loss. He had 4 innings, 9 hits, 6 earned runs, 6 strikeouts, and 2 homers allowed. 24-year-old lefty from Hebron, Indiana, has a 6.33 ERA this year, a 1-3 record, and has made 9 starts, 48 1/3 innings, 34 earned runs allowed, 12 walks to 60 strikeouts. He is the Pioneer League leader in Ks. Bothwell will be backed up by, in the outfield from left to right, Kyle Ashworth, Kingston Liniak, and TJ Clarkson. In the infield from right to left, it's Josh Rago, Logan Beard, Gabe Howell, and JT Mabry, with Angel Mendoza doing the catching for the lefty Bothwell. This is the 4th time the Ballers have faced Bothwell this season. Bothwell, the lefty, has lost all 3 of those decisions. One was, well, the Range Riders have lost all 3 of those games. One was a knockout round loss. That was the Buford 5 home run knockout round performance on June 4th. He went 6 in that game and gave up just 1 earned run. Then in a 6-5 loss on June 17th, 4 runs allowed and 3 earned runs over 5 1/3. And then last time out was June 22nd, that Sunday game at Raimondi. He tried to pitch Tuesday and Sunday, and on shorter rest, the Ballers just ambushed him. 15-3 win for the Ballers that day. They got 7 earned runs against him in just 4 innings. Home runs by Buford, Tatum, and Monty. And which Ty Bothwell will show up today? Probably the one that we saw in the first 2 starts against Oakland. I would expect a good outing from Bothwell on this evening. Lefty-righty matchup, and Tremaine Cobb Jr. takes the ball outside at 7:10 local time at 6:10 p.m. in the Bay. Thanks for tuning in on 860 AM The Answer and on YouTube. Beautiful night here in Kalispell, 77 and sunny at first pitch. Next to Buford, misses. A little bit outside. 91-mile-an-hour fastball. And it's 2-0. I think I said Buford right there. Jermaine Cobb Jr. is the batter. 0 for 4 last night with an RBI. And he taps it slowly towards third. Bothwell has to get off the mound to field it, but still throws to first in time to get Cobb on a wild dash towards the third base line. Bothwell makes the play, 1-3. It looked like a textbook infield hit, kind of like the one Stephen Kwan had in the All-Star game last night to tie the game, but in the end, Cobb chases what would have been ball 3, rolling over on the fastball, and Bothwell does well to field his position. So 1 out, base is empty for Nick Leahy. First pitch hack, and he fouls it back. 0-1. Leahy gets the start tonight at third base, and he has had a lot of success against Bothwell, including his first pro homer back on June 17th. Leahy takes a strike. It's 0-2. 1 out, base is empty. No score. Top of the first here from Kalispell. Leahy had a pinch hit at bat last night and struck out. 0-2. The righty Leahy staying towards the back of the box. Bothwell looks in for the sign. Wearing the high rifle green socks. Kicks and fires. Leahy takes high. 1-2. 92-mile-an-hour fastball. A bit high and away to Leahy, but did not miss by much. 1-2 the count on the right-handed hitting Leahy. And he swings and misses at 86. The changeup outside, and Bothwell picks up league-leading strikeout number 61. Brings up Davis Druick with 2 outs and nobody on here in the first inning. No score between the Ballers and the Range Riders. Bothwell's the league leader in Ks. Right behind him, Luke Short with 55. Luke Schaefer for Glacier. Check swing, accidental roller down the third base line. That's a hit for Druick. That was hilarious. Exit velo, exit speed, 36 miles an hour, and it's a single for Davis Druick. That's a line drive in the scorebook. It was an inside pitch at 93, and he did not mean to hit it fair. Didn't mean to hit it at all, but it hit the bat and rolled down the third baseline like a perfect bunt. And Druick's aboard with his 49th hit of the season. Here's Danny Harris. First pitch just tucks below the knees for a ball. 1-0. Runner on first for Oakland here in the top of the first inning. 2 outs in the frame. Harris 0 for 3 yesterday. Next from Bothwell, he delivers, and Harris just gets a piece of the changeup at the bottom of the zone. 1-1. 2 games ago, Harris went 3 for 5, hoping for another multi-hit game. It would be his 20th of the year if he's able to get multiple hits in this contest. One and one. Harris ready. Harris takes. Called a strike at the bottom of the zone. Trackman shows it was low, but not by much. And it's 1-2 on Harris, opting not to waste a challenge early in this ballgame. Bothwell peers in with intent. Settles from the stretch. Fires. Outside. 2-2. Mendoza, a great framing catcher. The Glacier backstop. He'll hold it for as long as he can, trying to get the call from the umpire. Tonight it's Alec Conwell behind the dish. Shad Chrisman at first. Craig Struble down at third. 2-2, hack and a miss from Harris. Breaking ball got him. And Bothwell strikes out 2 in the side. The league leader in the PBL in strikeouts picks up 2 more. He's up to 62 on the campaign. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. A 36-mile-an-hour single by Davis Druick fails to bloom for the Ballers in the top of the first. And Glacier comes up in the bottom of the first when you return. No score here from Kalispell on 860 AM The Answer. No score. Bottom of the first here from Kalispell. Ballers and Range Riders doing battle on this Wednesday night. Glacier, again, we went over the lineup pregame, but I'll refresh you real quick. Leading off Ashworth, then Howell and Beard. Casarella cleans up. Clarkson in the 5 spot with a homer last night. Liniak hits 6th. Rago 7th. Mendoza, and then Mabry rounds it out. Reed Butts the start for Oakland. 4 straight wins, including Tuesday, the 8th of July, so 8 days ago against Rocky Mountain in a 5-2 win. He went 6, gave up 6 hits and just 1 earned run, striking out 5. His 6th win of the year. That's tied for 2nd in the PBL. 26-year-old lefty from Rockford, Illinois, faces the lefty Kyle Ashworth to get things going in the home first. Butts making his 9th start of the year, and his first pitch is low, 1-0. Reed, 4.53 ERA, 6-1 record, 43 2/3 innings, 48 hits, 22 walks, and 29 strikeouts. Ashworth takes a strike, 1-1. If Reed Butts is victorious on this occasion, he will tie the Ballers franchise record for wins as a pitcher in a season. 1-1. A strike, low at the knees, 1-2. Those players that he would tie, Zach St. Pierre and Christian Cosby, both had 7. That was in 2024. Butts bounces in a breaking ball, well in front of the plate. It is 2-2 on Ashworth, the left-handed hitter. The leadoff man for Glacier, 0 for 4 yesterday, hitting .266. Much better on base, .358. And he cracks one in the air to right field. This one is far and off the wall on a hop. Fumbled by Buford out and right. And it's a double for Kyle Ashworth. Good start to the game for Glacier. It's a left-on-left double for Ashworth. He took a 90-mile-an-hour fastball in off the hands and turned on it. 101 off the bat, and Ashworth gets his 5th double and extra base hit of the season. Brings up Gabe Howell. Glacier trying to strike first here in Kalispell in a 0-0 game. In the bottom of the first, Ashworth with the double to right field. Brings up Howell. Go over the defense now for Oakland after this pitch. Howell takes low. Tatum behind the dish for Butts. Infield left to right, Leahy, Cobb, Harris, Almanza. Outfield left to right, Druick, Buggs, Buford. First we've seen of Cam Buford in right field this season, unless I missed a start in right out in Rocky Mountain in Colorado Springs. Howell golfs one in the air, right field. Buford back towards the track, just shy of the track, makes the catch. Tagging from second is Ashworth on a loud F9 for Howell. 94 off the bat. Pitch left middle from Reed, but it was an off-speed pitch, and that meant Howell couldn't do quite as much damage with it. Now it's up to Logan Beard to try to get Howell or Ashworth in. 1 out, and the Ballers and Range Riders are tied 0-0 in the bottom of the first inning. Ashworth now at third. Beard the hitter. Righty takes. Called a strike at the top of the zone. Just barely did clip the top. The fastball at 90 from Reed Butts. Beard 0 for 4 yesterday. Right-handed hitter, 23 years of age. Late on the fastball, fouls it back to the screen, 0-2. Beard hitting .285. He's driven in 35 with 7 doubles and 6 homers. This is the spot. Runner at third, less than 2 outs. Got to find a way to get him home. 0-2 from the lefty Butts to the righty Beard. Popped up, right side, out of play. Just onto the berm. Some kids tackled each other for that baseball. They missed it, and then it fell to another fan who tossed it to a group of young fans. Beard takes low. It's 1-2. And those little guys were desperately wanting that foul ball because they did quite literally tackle each other to try to be the one to end up with the souvenir. 1-2 from Reed. He comes home. Another foul ball back right behind home plate. No score, bottom of the first. Ashworth just 90 feet away for Glacier after his leadoff double. Tagged on the fly ball to right. Now it's 1-2 on Beard. Butts delivers. And it's a weakly hit fly ball into right field. This will play to run. It drops in front of Buford, who nearly mishandles it because it took a wicked hop off the turf. But that was just a bloop single by Beard and an RBI as Glacier strikes first. That's got to be frustrating for Reed because that was a breaking ball that was hit at 83 off the bat, but Beard muscled it out to right field for an RBI, number 36 of the year. Just a dying quail into right field from Beard, enough to put Glacier on the board first. It's 1-0 with one out in the bottom of the first. Here is Xavier Casarella. Right-handed batter, takes below the zone, 1-0. So it's an early lead for Glacier, who did not score until the 8th last night. It's 1-0 here in the bottom of the first. Runner at first is Beard. Casarella takes outside, 2-0. Casarella had an 11-game hit streak until last night when he went 0 for 3. Open stance righty, takes in. It's 3-0. Beard gets his lead over at first, but set at the stretch. His 3-0 toss is low. 4-pitch walk for Casarella. Brings up TJ Clarkson. Also yields a meeting on the mound between Butts and his catcher, Dylan Tatum. TJ Clarkson, homer last night off of Caleb Franzen, his second homer off of Franzen this year. He's also taken Zach St. Pierre, Brody Iglite, and Noah Milliken deep. Franzen was under the impression it was the third homer he had allowed to Clarkson. That is not the case. Although when a guy takes you deep multiple times, you start to feel that sense of deja vu. 1-0 Glacier leads in the bottom of the first inning. 2 on, 1 out. Early chance for Glacier to put up a crooked number, especially with Clarkson at the dish, who has driven in 27 this season and homered yesterday. 2 for 4 in the game. First toss, Clarkson takes the ball, and Butts has missed on 5 straight. That was just outside with the breaking pitch. Beard and Casarella, the runners. Infield playing standard depth. Middle infielders, Cobb and Harris, pinch towards second base as Butts looks back that way. Lifts the leg and fires. Clarkson takes a strike. Bottom of the zone. Great pitch from Reed there. Threw the fastball and located quite well. 1-1. Clarkson stands in left side. Wide stance. Feet spread more than shoulder width apart as he takes strike 2. This time, Reed threw him an off-speed pitch, the breaking ball. Left it up in the zone, but got him to freeze and take strike 2. So it's 1-2. He failed to put away Beard, although he did induce weak contact. Could even roll up a double play here, Reed Butts. The 1-2 toss to Clarkson is called. Strike 3. Outside corner, late call from Alec Conwell. I think I heard the audible call, but he was late to really ring him up. Brings up Kingston Liniak. Butts with the strikeout with the fastball pasted on the outside corner. Now it's Kingston Liniak. Liniak takes outside, ball 1. 2 outs, 2 on for Glacier in the bottom of the first inning. A couple hits in the frame. One hit sharply, the other hit weakly. Liniak in a 1-0 count with Beard and Casarella aboard. Liniak 0 for 4 in last night's game. Glacier was held to just 5 hits. And that's another hit into right field. Buford gets to it on 2 hops, comes up throwing, but scoring easily from second on the play is Beard. And it's an RBI knock for Kingston Liniak. Glacier leads 2-0 here in the home first. That one wasn't hit particularly hard, only 92 off the bat, but He just served it through the right side. Liniak going the opposite way with a pitch that was pretty much down the middle. Buford did a good job there of hitting the cutoff man, so Casarella at second. Big hack and a miss there from Rego on the breaking ball. 0-1. 2 outs, 2 on for Glacier. Now 2-0 Range Riders in the bottom of the first inning. They have 3 hits and a walk in this frame. Rego playing in just his 6th Pioneer League game. Takes low and outside for a strike and challenges. Yikes, that's not a good look. I mean, it's a decent spot to use a challenge, but that was at the bottom of the zone. Rego can't believe it's a confirmed strike. You can see him quickly twist his head back and forth as if to say, huh, what? A strike? Really? Thought for sure it was a ball. Well, he guessed wrong. So now Butts has him 0-2 looking for his second strikeout of the frame. Reed comes home, and Rego belts it high to right field. Buford looks like he has it played, drifts over towards his left, and makes the two-handed put away for out number 3. So Reed Butts allows a few hits and 2 runs in the first, but as we know, Reed gets better with age, and the Ballers trail 2-0 heading to the second on 860 AM The Answer. Start of the second, Ballers down 2-0. Glacier gets 2 in the bottom of the first after the Kyle Ashworth double. Logan Beard singles him in, and then Kingston Liniak gets Beard in with an RBI knock through the right side. And so when it's all said and done, it's Glacier 2, Oakland 0 after 1, and the Ballers will hope to erase the 0 in their score column rather quickly. They could not do that quickly last night. They only scored in the 5th inning. They got 3 runs. That was enough for the win. So we haven't seen the Oakland offense really show up yet in the second half. Now, caveat, this is just game 2. But they'll hope to get going against Bothwell, which is easier said than done. Although, Buford at the plate to lead off this inning did take him deep. Led off the second inning, hint, hint, as Buford takes outside for ball 1. Led off the second inning on June 22nd with a first pitch solo shot against Bothwell. This time he takes ball 1 outside. Now it's a 1-0 count. 2-0 Ballers trail in the top of the second. Next to Buford is a ball off the plate, 2-0, hitters count. And look, Brent Rooker talked about it, 2-0. The swing decision's already made for Buford. If he gets a fastball here, he's ripping. And he does hack and foul it back. He got a middle fastball and missed it. I'm, of course, referencing Brent Rooker's 3-run homer in the All-Star game for the American League to help them come back and tie it against the NL. Buford swings again at a fastball, this one high, and he fouls it back once more, 2-2. Cam on a 3-game hit streak with 2 homers in that span. Technically 2 homers over his last 4 games. His hit streak is not including a game where he just walked. As he foul tips 92 into the mid of Mendoza, chased the high heat there. And it's the 3rd strikeout for Bothwell, who's got it going early. Here's Christian Almanza. He's had some success against Glacier this season, including yesterday when he went 2 for 4 with a double, his 4th double against the Range Riders this year. Almanza takes in. It is 1-1. Lefty-lefty battle here with 1 out. The base is empty in the top of the second. Glacier leads Oakland 2-0. Ground ball to second base, fielded by Beard. Throw to first in time. So there are 2 outs, and Bothwell is looking good so far. But now he's got to face Dylan Tatum, who took him deep 415-foot homer last time facing Bothwell back on June 22nd in that game where the Ballers roughed him up. He's had success in the other starts he's made against Oakland this year. First pitch hack fouled back by Tatum. Got a fastball down the middle, but it was at 92, and Tatum was late. Tater's in need of another Tater. He hasn't hit a home run since July 6th at Rocky Mountain. Takes a strike outside. 0-2. That was the breaking ball. Tatum, 13 homers. That's 10th, maybe tied 8th in the Pioneer League. He is second on the team, behind just Christian Almanza, who has 14 bombs. Behind here, 0-2. And Tatum takes way outside, not even close, 1-2. 2 outs, bases empty for the Ballers, trailing 2-0, top of the second. Here from Kalispell, game 2 of the second half of the Pioneer League season. 1-2 toss from Bothwell. Tatum, swing and a miss. Not only did he pump 92 by him, but Bothwell even messed with his timing there by holding a bit longer in that leg lift before firing home. And he strikes out 2 more. He's up to 4 on the day, and he strikes out 2 in this inning, retiring the Ballers in order in the top of the second. 2-0 Glacier. Range Riders coming back up when you return in the bottom of the second on 860 AM. The Answer. Ballers trail, bottom of the second. It is 2-0 Range Riders. Nevada Cullen with you from Kalispell. Chris Dorr back in our 860 AM The Answer studios. Thanks for tuning in on your Wednesday evening. Ballers going for a 6th consecutive victory. Today is July 16th, 2025. I want to shout out Barbara Lee. Happy birthday to the mayor of Oakland. Also, shout out to my dad, his birthday as well. But it's also time for this day in Oakland baseball history as we rewind to July 16th of 1997. A decently important date, I'd say, in Oakland athletics history, as Butts misses outside to Mendoza to start the bottom of the second, 1-0. It's a little bit bittersweet is the best way to put it for the Oakland A's this date. Butts misses high, 2-0. On July 16th, 1997, in Oakland, Mark McGwire hits his 33rd and 34th homers of the year. Mendoza cracks one foul off to the right, 2-1. That led the A's to an 11-3 win over the Royals, despite Jose Canseco striking out in all 5 at-bats for the A's, tying an Oakland record. Combined with his 3 strikeouts the day prior, Pop up, out of play, right side, towards the berm and onto the berm. But tied with those, in combination with the 3 strikeouts the day prior, Canseco tied a major league record with 8 whiffs in 2 consecutive games. But I want to fixate on this Mark McGwire stat. He had his 33rd and 34th homers of 1997. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Bunce gets his second strikeout. With the high cheese there, Mendoza is retired. 1 away, nobody on, 2 outs, no. Second inning, 2-0. Glacier leads Oakland. JT Mabry, the 9-hitter, is up next. But anyways, those homers that Mark McGwire hit on this day in Oakland baseball history in 1997 were the last 2 homers he ever hit for Oakland. And I thought that was odd because, you know, he homers all the time. Takes a strike at the bottom of the zone, Mabry, 0-1. But because McGwire did not homer the rest of July, Mabry early hacking a miss, 0-2. He was then traded to St. Louis at the deadline that year in 97. He would hit 24 more homers with St. Louis. Hit 58 in 1997. Mabry takes ball 1 outside, 1-2. But because McGwire went on a little homerless drought to end July, that home run, the 2 home runs he hit that day were his last 2 for Oakland. Line drive just over the Oakland dugout on the right side by Mabry. Still 1-2. So yeah, it's a bittersweet day in Oakland A's history because Mark McGwire was a beloved A. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Ugly hack there. Nice change up there from Reed Butts. And back-to-back Ks for Reed. I told you, better with age. Just gets better as the game goes along as he strikes out consecutive hitters before the lineup turns over to the top. Kyle Ashworth doubled to lead off the game for Glacier and then scored. Glacier leads 2-0 here in the bottom of the second inning against Oakland. Ashworth the lefty against Butts the lefty. A strike, 0-1. Reed from the windup comes home. Ashworth takes another strike. Breaking ball there on the outside half. Reed rolling here. Not quite an immaculate inning, but could strike out the side here in the second frame. Deep sigh. Reed goes. Misses in the turf, 1-2. Ashworth this season against Oakland, entering this game really struggling. 130 batting average against the Ballers, 3 for 23, but doubled in his first at bat today. Lefty hitter towards the back of the box, wearing a light-colored tan bat. Swings it and rolls it over to first, softly hit. Almanza fields it while standing on the bag for the out. 3 unassisted. 2 Ks in the inning for Reed Butts. He bounces back after a tough first with a 1-2-3 second. Ballers trail 2-0 against Glacier, heading to the third on 860 AM. The Answer. Much like last night, Oakland offense struggling early, just 1 hit and no runs. Here in the top of the third inning, they'll try again against Ty Bothwell. They trail 2-0, the Ballers, here in game 2 of a 6-game set. I'm Nevada Cullen with None other than Chris Dorr back in our 860 AM The Answer studios. And how about let's take a little peek at the Ballers schedule. Who do the Ballers play in this second half of the season? Well, of course, it starts with Glacier. That's not a good view of the schedule. Let me just pull it up on my phone. After this, the Ballers will return home to face the Colorado Springs Sky Sox, which previously were the Northern Colorado Owls, but some rebranding has affected that. But it's basically the pattern for Oakland is road, home, on and off for each week. Here's Jake Allgaier hitting from the right side for the first time as a Baller. He takes a strike, 0-1. Allgaier, his first at bat today, his second game as an Oakland Baller, the 23-year-old from Illinois, by way of Gary. Foul ball back to the screen, 0-2. Gary South Shore Railcats of the American Association is where he played this year before being traded to Oakland. So Glacier, then Colorado Springs for Oakland, and then finally a road trip to Marysville. Pitch low, 1-2. The Yuba Sutter High Wheelers are the team that Ballers, it's their biggest rival. There's no debate about that. They will play 12 in a row against Yuba Sutter from July to August. Allgaier takes high, 2-2. 6 in Yuba Sutter, then 6 at home against the High Wheelers. Then 6 at Colorado Springs, but against the Rocky Mountain Vibe. Second trip there for the Ballers this year. 2-2 pitch to the righty, Allgaier. He takes low. Then home against Boise. Second series the Ballers will play against the Hawks this year. Then 6 at Yuba Sutter, their second trip there this year. Then they finish the season starting September with a week-long series against the Great Falls Voyagers for the first time this season. Hack and a foul ball by Allgaier, 3-2. The lone teams that Oakland does not play in this season unless they would meet in the playoffs. Billings, the Mustangs, and then the Idaho Falls Chuckers. 3-2 again to Allgaier from the lefty Bothwell. Allgaier takes outside. Another walk. He walked once yesterday. That's just the second base runner for Oakland. Brings the tying run to the plate here in the top of the third. The Ballers trail the Glacier Range Riders by a score of 2-0. Runner on first with none out. Bugs, the batter. Darryl Bugs, the second. Went 0 for 2 with a strikeout yesterday. A week ago today had his first pro homer against the Rocky Mountain Vibes. Taking his lead at first is Allgaier. Big lead over there. There's ball 1 to Bugs, high and away. The fastball at 90. Allgaier did get his first Oakland stolen base in yesterday's game. It came in this very inning, the third. He stole second. He's at the cut right now. He does not go, and Bugs rips a fastball back to the screen. Ballers are continuously late against Bothwell. They're struggling to time him up this time around. This is Bothwell's fourth start against Oakland this year. Bugs takes high, never even thinks about swinging at that changeup. Actually, that breaking ball. It's 2-1. Bothwell did allow 5 extra base hits in his second start against Oakland. One of them was a Bugs triple. A check to first. That almost looked like a balk. Fooled me, that's for sure. I was looking towards home. All of a sudden, Bothwell tossed over towards Allgaier. Let's see if he runs here on 2-1. He does not. Bugs hacks late at 89. A fastball off the plate. He chased ball 3. Baller showing a lack of patience so far in this game and also late swings. 2-2 toss. Bugs watches ball 3 outside. That would have been ball 4. However, Bugs can still find his way on here. Is this where you send Allgaier? I'd expect a throw over. Shaking off a couple signs is the lefty Bothwell. He settles. He comes home. And Bugs takes strike 3. He stared at 77. It caught the top of the zone. The breaking ball from Bothwell, and Bugs is down looking. 5th strikeout for Bothwell. 1 out. Runner at first. Tremaine Cobb Jr. is next. Back to the top of the lineup for Oakland. First time through, very good for Bothwell. 5 strikeouts, 2 base runners allowed, and just 1 hit. Allgaier, who walked, is at first with 1 out in the top of the 3rd, and Glacier leads 2-0. Another check to first. That looks like a balk to me. It looks like he is stepping towards home. As a left-handed pitcher, you are allowed to make a motion sort of towards home plate. 45 degrees, that's the line you're walking as a lefty. Pitch home is a strike to Cobb, 0-1. I'd have to ask James Harris. He would have the best angle as the first base coach for the Ballers to see where Bothwell's foot is landing. Cobb swings and misses at a diving changeup. It's 0-2. Cobb hitless in this series so far. He's 0 for his first 5. Allgaier the runner at first with 1 out. 0-2 from Bothwell. Way outside and high. 92-mile-an-hour fastball. Uncompetitive pitch there. Cobb looked like he might have an infield hit in the first inning, except Bothwell was fast getting off the bump. Cobb fouls it back on 1-2. Two nothing Ballers trail. Top of the 3rd. Allgaier gets his lead at first base. Bothwell on 1-2. Comes set. Goes. Cobb swings, laces it through the left side. Base hit. 2nd hit of the game for Oakland. And he was absolutely ready for that breaking ball. Left in the zone and smashed it 104 off the bat. It's a single for Trey, and that snaps what could have been a 3-game hitless skid. He was 0 for his last 10 before that at bat. Allgaier to second on that single to left field by Cobb. Here's Nick Leahy, the go-ahead run now in the 3rd. First pitch, a strike at the knees. 0-1. 92-mile-an-hour fastball there from Bothwell. Great pitch. 2-0 Glacier leads here in the top of the 3rd inning. Ballers have 2 on with 1 out. Next to Leahy. He swings and misses. 93. Outside, he chased. He calls time before 0-2. Leahy struck out swinging against Bothwell in the 1st. Bothwell has 5 strikeouts so far. 4 swinging, 1 looking. Got Bugs looking in this inning. Once again, Bothwell ahead, 0-2. His pitch is grounded right side, fielded by Rago. His throw lobbed to second, close play just in time. Cobb is retired 4-6. That was an ugly looking play by Rago, the first baseman, whose momentum was taking him towards second base with that high chopper. He made the throw over there around Cobb. He had to throw it weakly, lobbing it over there to get it around the base runner. In the end, he does get the second out of the inning. Runners at the corners now for the Ballers here in the top of the 3rd with 2 outs, and the Ballers trailing 2-0. Davis Druick at the dish, an accidental single last time up down the 3rd base line. First pitch, Druick takes outside, 1-0. Druick has done a lot of damage against Glacier this year, but not really against Bothwell. This is a tough matchup for Druick, lefty-lefty. 1-0. Druick takes in the turf, 2-0. Yesterday, 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. He did walk once, so his single in the first inning at 36 miles an hour off the bat was his first hit of this series. Runner at 3rd, that's Allgaier. Leahy at first base. 2 outs here in the top of the 3rd. Ballers chasing 2. Bothwell from the stretch throws to first, and back standing is Leahy, who is not the Ballers' biggest candidate to run. He only has 1 stolen base. But the Ballers have been known to steal a few bags. Druick, a swing and a foul ball. It's 2-1. Ballers, one of the better offenses in the Pioneer League. They're scoring at a high clip. 5th most runs scored in the league, and their stolen base count is high as well. They're 4th in the league as Druick has a foul tip go into and out of the mitt of Mendoza, 2-2. Really tied for 3rd in the league with Grand Junction are the Ballers with 78 stolen bases. Bothwell trying to get out of the jam. They had 2 on the Ballers with just 1 out. Now it's men at the corners with 2 outs in the top of the 3rd, trailing 2-0. Bothwell delivers. Druick strikes out. Fastball blown by him. 94. Bothwell really rears back right there to get his 6th strikeout. He's struck out 2 in each inning so far. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and a pair left on for the Ballers in the top of the 3rd. Ballers trail 2-0 heading to the bottom of the 3rd on 860 AM, The Answer. Bottom of the 3rd here in Kalispell, Montana. 2-0 Glacier leads Oakland. 2, 3, and 4 due up against Reed Butts. I am Nevada Cullen. Chris Dorr is back in our 860 AM The Answer studios. Thank you for tuning in on your Wednesday night to some Ballers baseball on 860 AM The Answer and on YouTube. Gabe Howell will lead off the frame against Reed Butts. Howell entered hitting 105 against Oakland this season, 4 for 38. He does have a homer. It was against Reed Butts. That was on June 18th. This is the 3rd start for Reed against Glacier as he locates strike 1 on the outer portion, 0-1. Victorious in the first 2 starts, picking up wins in each. First was June 5th at Glacier. Misses low with 1-1. Butts got the win that day. 5 innings, 7 hits, 5 earned runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. 1-1 for Butts from the windup. He misses. Just inside, 2-1. His second start was even better against Glacier, a 6-5 win for the Ballers on June 18th, in which Howell homered. He tossed 107 pitches that day. 2-1. Howell pops it foul off to the right, out of play, over the berm. I think a fan tried to make that catch over the railing, a younger fan perhaps, and it fell out of his glove and into a mulched area with some small trees. 2-2 pitch. Howell takes strike 3. Nice job by Reed, placing the breaking ball on the outside edge. Backdoors the righty Howell for his 4th strikeout of the game. 1 down, bases empty in the bottom of the 3rd. 2-0 Glacier leads. This is the 3rd start for Reed Butts against the Glacier Range Riders this season. I mentioned the second one was his best one so far against Glacier. Ground ball to shortstop, gobbled up by Cobb. Throw to first in time. 1 pitch, 1 out for Beard, who had an RBI single his last at bat. And Reed is retired 6 in a row. He went 5 1/3, 5 hits, 2 runs, just 1 earned, 3 walks, and a season-high 7 punch-outs. Did allow that homer to Howell in the 6-5 win on June 18th against Glacier. He has 4 strikeouts so far today in his 3rd start against the Range Riders. Here's Xavier Casarella. First pitch to him, placed on the high outside corner by Reed. The changeup, 0-1. Next toss is belted to center field. Pretty deep, Bugs in the gap in left center has it. Camps underneath, makes the one-handed squeeze for out number 3. 1-2-3 inning for Butts, who is retired 7 in a row. He gets his 4th strikeout. Here in the 3rd, we go to the 4th. 2-0 Glacier leads Oakland on 860 AM The Answer. Still 2-0. Oakland trails Glacier. Start of the 4th here from Kalispell. Nevada Cullen with you on 860 AM The Answer. Chris Dorr back in our 860 AM The Answer studios. Ballers will send 4, 5, and 6 to the plate to face Ty Bothwell, who they call the Zookeeper. Now, why would you go by that nickname unless you have some cool pets? And that must be the case for Ty. And that is the case. I'll tell you one particular pet that caught my attention when I learned about this. The Zookeeper has 6 strikeouts so far tonight. Bothwell, the lefty, delivers, and Harris fouls it off of himself, 0-1. Ballers trail 2-0 at the start of the 4th inning. Harris with a strikeout to end the 1st. Well, Bothwell, the Hebron, Indiana native, his parents, his family own a farm. Harris fouls one out of play behind home, 0-2. Both parents actually competed in the International Professional Rodeo Association. His dad, Todd, was a team roper. His mother, Mickey, was a barrel racer. But because he grew up on a farm, he had the opportunity to have some interesting pets, earning him the name the Zookeeper, as Harris calls time, 402. And his most interesting pet is the poison dart frog. And you might say, what? Harris chops one off of himself. Still 0-2. But the thing is with the poison dart frog, as Scott Gladstone, the broadcaster for Glacier, told me, if you don't feed it its normal diet, it loses its venom. 0-2. Harris takes way outside off the mid of Mendoza and to the backstop, 1-2. And so that's the case with Bothwell. Ty has not been feeding his poison dart frog its usual diet, therefore it can't kill him. The more you know. The lefty's 1-2 pitch to Danny Harris is low, 2-2. Bothwell, the left-handed pitcher, played 5 years at the University of Indiana in Bloomington. His next to Harris is an early swing and a ground ball to third on 2 hops, collecting Mabry. Throw to first in time for out number 1. So 1 out here in the top of the 4th inning. Glacier leads Oakland 2-0. Oakland with just 2 hits against Bothwell so far, hoping that Cam Buford can provide the 3rd hit of the game for the Ballers. He struck out swinging his first time against Bothwell. Buford getting his first start of the season in right field tonight. And he cranks one to right center field, headed for the gap. It bounces and bounds off the green padded wall. Buford stops at second with a one-out double. The first extra base hit of the game for Oakland extends Buford's hit streak to 4 games. 107 off the bat of Cam Buford, who smacked one yesterday at 109 for a single. That was the first hit of the game. There were being no hit in yesterday's game by Jared Engman through 4. In the 5th, he hit a single off of Engman. In the 4th today, he lasers a double into the right center field gap off of Bothwell. Now it's Christian Almanza. Ballers trailing 2-0 here in the top of the 4th, 1 out. Almanza first pitch hack. He's early, 0-1. Buford up to 10 doubles on the season and a whopping 20 extra base hits for Cam. 1-0, 0-1. Almanza takes outside, ball 1. Challenged by Mendoza, unless that was the pitcher Bothwell. I'm going to guess that was Bothwell. And Glacier already missed their first challenge. Now they missed their second. It's a confirmed ball, so Bothwell, who's been great tonight, tries to challenge and is incorrect. Then asks where it missed, asking if it missed outside. It actually missed low, according to TrackMan. 1-1 on Almanza. Runner at second for the Ballers with 1 out in the top of the 4th. Next toss. Swung on and missed late. 92-mile-an-hour fastball blown past Almanza on the inner half. He rolled over a grounder to second last time up. That would move Buford to second, but Almanza would rather drive in his 55th run of the season right here. Bothwell looks Buford's way at second. Goes home and misses low. It's 2-2 on Christian, who has collected 2 hits and doubled in 3 straight games, including yesterday's ball game. 4 doubles this season against Glacier. The lefty ready. The lefty Bothwell kicks and fires. Almanza swings, launches high to left field, angling towards foul ground. Ashworth loses the cap, runs out of room. Count remains 2-2. That was hit towards that Range Riders training facility hit Flathead Field here at Glacier Bank Park. Beautiful facility here in Kalispell. Turf field, high mound. The pitchers love it, that all-turf mound. Mountains overlooking us out and right. Another 2-2 to Almanza, fired home. Almanza just fights it off. Nice piece of hitting there to protect. That was a breaking ball at the bottom of the zone, and Almanza just got a piece. Has to fix up his elbow guard, his white elbow guard. He reattaches it, wearing the red shin guard, stands back in, back of the box, left side. Bothwell looks Buford's way at second. He doubled with 1 out. Now Almanza fights off another one. 2-0, Ballers trail the Glacier Range Riders in the top of the 4th here in Kalispell. Buford with the 1 out double. Now it's Almanza, who has 14 doubles to his name this season. Bothwell looks Buford's way once more, comes home. Almanza swings and pops it up left field. Medium deep. Ashworth in the shadows makes the squeeze with 1 hand. And there are 2 outs. Almanza got an inside fastball there and tried to inside out it. But if he wanted to hit it with any venom, he would have had to turn on it. He could not. As a result, Bothwell is an out away from completing 4 scoreless. He has allowed just 3 hits and now faces Dylan Tatum, who took him yard the last time Bothwell faced Oakland back on June 22nd. That was a 2-homer game for Tatum, the first of 5 this season. Tatum late swing and miss on the fastball, 92. 0-1. 2 outs in the inning. Runner at second is Buford. 2-0. Glacier leads Oakland. Tatum up to 13 bombs with his 5 2-homer games. Tatum cranks it high and deep right field. This one might stay in. Clarkson has it played. and makes the catch just shy of the track. Tatum launched it, a high arcing blast, 351 feet to right center field, but Tatum ends up flying out to end the inning. Buford is stranded at second base after his one-out double, so no runs, one hit, no errors, one left for Oakland in the top of the fourth. 2-0 Glacier. Range Riders coming back up when you return on 8:60 a.m. The Answer. Bottom of the fourth, 2-0 Glacier leads Oakland. Reed Butts has retired 7 in a row. I'm Nevada Cullen. Chris Dorr back in our 8:60 a.m. The Answer studios. Thanks for tuning in on this Wednesday night. It's time to bring back a segment for you. It's time for Where Are They Now, where we look at former ballers and how they're doing in other leagues. Well, I have two players I really want to talk about tonight because they're all-stars. Christian Cosby and Dante Stewart are both all-stars in the American Association. Cosby for the Sioux Falls Canaries and Dante Stewart with the Lake Country Dockhounds. Get to their numbers real quick so you can know just how well they're doing. I think I might have missed the first pitch of the inning right there from Reed to TJ Clarkson. It was a ball, 1-0. Bottom of the fourth. 2-0 Glacier. Clarkson takes a strike, 1-1. Christian Cosby for Sioux Falls for the Canaries has been magnificent. He's got a 4-2 record. Clarkson fouls one back. A 0.76, a not 7.6 ERA, under 1. That is awesome for Christian. 25 games. He has 6 saves. 23 2/3 innings. He's allowed only 12 hits. He's walked 10. He struck out 31. Clarkson flies it to pretty shallow, medium deep left field. Catch is made by Druick, 1 away. But yeah, Christian Cosby, the former baller who, if Reed Butts wins this game, he'll match Christian Cosby and Zach St. Pierre's franchise record with his 7th win of the year. But Cosby is balling out for the Sioux Falls Canaries. And then there's Dante Stewart, who is, I mean, it's impressive what he's doing offensively in the American Association. First pitch delivered to Kingston Liniak for strike 1. 56 games for Dante, 74 hits. He's hitting .319 with 14 doubles, 5 bombs. Liniak, hack and a miss. Nothing in 2. 28 RBI, 17 for 19 on the bases, Dante, with 15 walks and just 29 strikeouts. Slugging .453. Swing and a miss. Liniak strikes out, and Reed gets his 5th punch-out. 2 down. So, all I want to say is best of luck to any baller who, goes on and plays in a different organization, different league. Rago, line drive to third. Leahy snares it. 1 pitch, 1 out for Reed Butts, who is through 4 with just 2 runs allowed. He has retired 10 straight Range Riders. We go to the 5th. Ballers trail Glacier 2-0 on 8:60 a.m. The Answer. Start of the fifth. Here from Kalispell, the Range Riders lead the Ballers 2-0, but Ballers have collected a few hits. They got that Buford double in the fourth. They were swinging the bat well. Almanza had a good at bat. Tatum nearly another extra base hit, nearly another home run. He ended up flying out to right field. Let's see how this bottom of the order fares here in the top of the fifth inning. Remember, it was Allgaier who started the third. He walked. The Ballers would strand 2 in that inning with a Cobb single. And it will be, again, 8-9-1 here in the fifth. Bothwell dominating so far, all things considered, the lefty starter for Glacier, who has been really good at some points this season, despite his 6.33 ERA. He was the PBL Pitcher of the Week in the second week of June with 7 2/3 of scoreless baseball and 11 strikeouts against Yuba Sutter. That's nothing to blink at. First pitch swing, and Allgaier floats it to right field. Clarkson is camped. He is drifting towards his right. He makes the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out for Bothwell here in the fifth. Like the aggressive approach there from Allgaier, he just got under one. Now the 9-hitter, Darryl Buggs, the second. 1 out, base is empty. Top of the fifth inning. Ballers trail Glacier 2-0. Glacier attempting to snap Oakland's 5-game win streak. Buggs' first pitch is a strike. Taken at the knees, 0-1. Ballers have had some hefty win streaks this year. I believe this is their 4th 5-game win streak. Buggs shoots it towards third. Backhand Mabry, throw to first in time. That's a heck of a play by JT Mabry, who plays a good third base and throws out Buggs there, robbing him of what could have been a hit. Tremaine Cobb Jr. is next. 2 outs in the inning. Nobody on. Ballers trailing in the top of the fifth. 2-0. First to Trey is high for a strike, 0-1. So the good news for the Ballers is the pitch count of Bothwell, which is 71, which means he probably can't pitch a complete game. I'm going to knock on some wood. 0-2 as Cobb swings and misses. He would have to be very efficient. This is his most efficient inning yet for Bothwell. 1 pitch out, quick out of Buggs, has Cobb 0-2, and strikes him out. Pitch in the turf, picked up by Mendoza. His throw to first in time for out number 3. 7th strikeout for Ty Bothwell. The zookeeper is reining the Ballers in a perfect 5th. We go to the bottom of the inning. Ballers trailing Glacier 2-0. Reed Butts back on the bump when you return on 860 AM, The Answer. Bottom of the 5th inning. I think it's time for a... I don't know what I was about to say. I got distracted. Bottom of the 5th inning, it's Glacier 2, Oakland 0. Reed Butts has retired 10 Range Riders in a row. Butts will face 8-9-1 here in the bottom of the 5th. He has thrown just 56 pitches So although Bothwell has been better than Butts, Butts has been more efficient than Bothwell. I talked to Reed today. He knew this was going to be a good matchup between him and Ty. As he locates a strike on Mendoza, 0-1. Butts hoping to grab his 5th straight win to get his 7th win of the year, but his team trailing by 2. Mendoza takes high, 1-1. It's Glacier 2, Oakland 0, bottom of the 5th inning. Mendoza struck out in the 2nd inning against Butts. Open stance righty. Mendoza swings and fouls it back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mendoza on an 8-game hit streak. Went 1 for 3 yesterday, a hit by pitch and a strikeout. The catcher is hitting .267 and hits one sharply into the gap in right center field. Bugs coming on, dives, he got it! He laid out head first and robs Mendoza of extra bases. 1 away. Mendoza flipped that one into right center field. A line drive, he tried to inside out it and line it into the gap in right center. But Bugs, who's got great closing speed, not only cut it off in the gap, he caught it right before it skipped off the turf. 1 down, first pitch, high to Mabry. So it's 1-0. He struck out swinging against Butts. Line drive over the Baller's dugout, 1-1. Man, Reed's got to love that effort. What a catch by Darryl Bugs. 1-1 is low from Reed. 2-1 on the 9-hitter, JT Mabry, who struck out swinging his first time. 2 for 4 Sunday at Billings, did not feature in Tuesday's ballgame. Butts comes home and gets a foul ball off to the right. That's off the roof of the suites over the first base side. A lot of suite seating here at Glacier Bank Park. To the right side of the press box and to the left side of the press box. The suites are really nice here at Glacier Bank Park. They not only have box seats, but they have little snacks. I saw some gummies and other things. Mabry line drive into center field. Bugs coming in, might not get this one. It ducks in front of him. That's single for Mabry. The 9-hitter has the first hit of the game for Glacier since the first inning when they got 3. Just dumps it into center, and that ends the streak of 11 in a row retired by Reed Butts. Mabry gets on for the top of the order. Kyle Ashworth is next. A double and a ground out. Butts hoping to roll up a twin killing here. First pitch, a strike. Fastball on the outer edge. The Ballers have turned a lot of double plays this season. They are second in the league with their 44 double plays turned. Only Ogden has more with 52. Fly ball, left field foul toward the training facility. And out of play, 0-2 on Ashworth. Glacier leads 2-0. It's the bottom of the 5th inning. There is 1 out. Mabry is the runner at first after his line drive single to center. 0-2 from Butts. Line sharply foul off the netting left side. We'll do the 0-2 again. Rookie Ashworth played 2025 at Long Beach State. So he just wrapped up his collegiate season, final college year. And he takes strike 3 at the bottom of the zone. Butts froze him with the breaking ball. And that's number 6 on the day for Reed Butts. 2 down. Butts, season high is 7 strikeouts. That was his last time facing this Glacier team. Next up, Gabe Howell, who was 0 for 2 with a strikeout against Butts today. First pitch is in, 1-0. Ballers trail Glacier here in the bottom of the 5th inning. It's 2-0 Range Riders. They got 2 all the way back in the first. 1-0. Howell takes high. Glacier strikes out a bit, 417 strikeouts on the season entering. That is 5th most in the league. Oakland right above them at 428. But still impressive what Reed has been able to do against them. That looked close to a strike. 2-0 is called a ball. It is north of the zone and challenged by Dylan Tatum. That's a good place to use it, but he's wrong. Alec Conwell can flex on his umpiring colleagues. 3 challenge calls in this game. All have been upheld. None have been reversed. Nice job, Alec. Unfortunately, it's 3-0 for Reed, who fires in a strike at the top of the zone at 89. 3-1. Hitters count here for Howell, who did take Reed deep on June 18th. Howell lines it foul towards the berm. Oh, watch out. There were some fans not paying attention. It just whizzed by them. If you're sitting on the berm, there is no netting there. You need to be at attention, because that could have really done damage there. Thankfully, it did not hit anyone. Runner will go here from first. 3-2 outs. Ground ball, softly hit to short. Cobb's only play to first. He throws it there just in the nick of time for out number 3. Reed bunts, does allow a hit finally, again here in the 5th, but puts up yet another 0. That's 4 straight scoreless innings for Reed Butts. Ballers need to give him some run support here. 2-0 Glacier, heading to the 6th on 860 AM The Answer. Still a goose egg in the 6th for the Ballers tonight. They scored all their runs in the 5th yesterday, and they need to get it going for Reed Butts, who's been great tonight with 5 innings of 2-run ball. He has received 0 run support. The Ballers trail 2-0 here in the 6th. Top of the 6th, Leahy, Druick, and Harris due up to face Ty Bothwell, who has 7 Ks over 5, has allowed just 3 hits and 0 runs. I'm Nevada Cullen. Chris Dorr is back in our 860 AM The Answer studios. Thank you for tuning in on this Wednesday evening from the Flathead Valley of Kalispell, Montana, just outside of Glacier National Park. That is the locale for this series. First pitch to Nick Leahy is pounced on. Dead center. Liniak racing back, running out of room, makes the catch at the wall. Nick Leahy, who's had a lot of success, including his first pro homer against Bothwell this year, got a fastball elevated near the middle of the zone, hit it 105 miles an hour, 399 feet. The Ballers just cannot catch a break tonight. If you want to get it out to dead center, you have to hit it 407 because it's 406 to center. And that was just less than 10 feet shy. Here's Davis Druick, first pitch. Hackey's late. Swung at the high fastball, 0-1. 2-0 Ballers trail in the top of the 6th inning. 1 out, bases empty for Druick. 0-1 toss from Bothwell is in, 1-1. Best hit ball all night for the Ballers, besides that Buford double, is Nick Leahy's line out to center field. Great play by Liniak, who's a pretty good defensive center fielder for Glacier. Druick takes in, it's 2-1. Perhaps Bothwell is tiring. He's at 77 pitches. He doesn't look like he's going to slow down. 2-1 toss. Druick takes. It's called a strike on the outside corner. That's a great pitch. He went with the changeup, and he pasted it on the outside corner. 2-2 on Druick, who is 1 for 2 in the game, an accidental single, and a strikeout. Lefty-lefty battle. Bothwell comes home. Druick strikes out again. 92 up the ladder. That's number 8 for Bothwell. The Pioneer League leader in strikeouts is up to 68 now on the season with his 8 tonight. So 2 outs, bases empty for Danny Harris. Harris is 0 for 2 with a strikeout in this game. Ballers still have mustered just 3 hits after winning despite having just 5 hits yesterday. A lackluster series offensively so far as Harris takes in the turf 1-0. There is a caveat to that. It's that Glacier, despite their record of 17-32, are one of the better teams in the Pioneer League, one of the best teams when it comes to pitching. Harris, early swing, bounces it to third, fielded by Mabry. His throw to first, and plenty of time to get Harris for out number 3. That's 8 in a row retired by Ty Bothwell. And despite Nick Leahy's 105 exit velo line drive to center field, the Ballers go down 1-2-3 again in the 6th. To the bottom of the 6th we go. Ballers trailing 2-0 against Glacier here on 860 AM. The Answer. Two nothing here from Kalispell. Reed Butt still dealing. Has allowed just 2 runs and 4 hits so far, but the Ballers trail 2-0. I'm Nevada Cullen. Chris Dorr back in our 860 AM The Answer studios, and it's time to go around the league. It's time for Pioneer League scores here on this Wednesday night, and there are 2 doubleheaders today, and somehow both Game 1 affairs finished 5-4. And we'll tell you who those are and in which way they swung after this first pitch to Logan Beard. It is fouled off, 0-1. Idaho Falls beats Ogden 5-4 in the knockout round. So the Chuckers win Game 1 of a doubleheader against the Raptors. And then Rocky Mountain Vibes beat Billings 5-4 as well. There's ball 1, 1-1. And that's in Game 1 of a doubleheader. The Vibes trailed in this game 3-0. There's a strike, 1-2. And they trailed entering the final 7th inning because it's a doubleheader. They only play 7 innings. They trailed 4-2, but they scored 3 runs in the 7th to take the lead. There's a foul ball back to the screen, 1-2. Garrett Kieber with a 2-run single to give the Vibes the lead in the 7th. The Vibes come back to beat Billings in their first game of the second half. Those 2 teams back in action right now. I have some score updates from those games. 1-2, high outside corner, called third strike, and Beard is down looking. Did not care for the call, but Glacier's down to its last challenge. The call was correct, and Butts matches his season high with his 7th punch-out. Third looking K, 1 down here in the bottom of the 6th. Glacier leads Oakland 2-0. So some score updates from Billings first, as Casarella takes a heavy hack and misses, nothing in one. Mustangs leading the Vibes 4-2. Mustangs attempting to split the doubleheader with the Vibes. And then Ogden also looking to split the double dip. They lead 3-1 at Idaho Falls in the top of the 6th. Still got 3 more games to get through in these Pioneer League score updates. Pitch low and in. Maybe a mix-up there between Butts and Tatum. Tatum turned his glove at a fastball. And it popped out of his mitt, 1-1. Yuba Sutter in the bottom of the 6th leads at Grand Junction, 12-3. Ground ball to short. Cobb on 2 hops. Throws to first. 2 down. Butts just 1 hit allowed since the first inning. 2 out spaces empty in the bottom of the 6th. And Glacier leads Oakland 2-0. 2 more scores. Missoula leads Great Falls in the top of the 3rd, 8-3 in Missoula. And then in the bottom of the 5th, the Colorado Springs Sky Sox lead the Boise Hawks 7-3. There's a strike to Clarkson, nothing in one. And looking at those Pioneer League standings to begin the second half, it's the Sky Sox on top alphabetically because they are 1-0. As Butts misses there, it's 1-1. But Sky Sox, if they improve to 2-0, will remain on top of the Pioneer League second half standings, which is crazy. Clarkson swing and a miss. Great pitch from Reed there. Threw him the fastball on the outside corner. Painted it like Picasso. Those are your Pioneer League score updates. Again, here it is 2-0. Glacier leads Oakland. They got their 2 runs in the first inning. Now it's the bottom of the 6th. 2 outs, no one on for Clarkson, who's 0 for 2 today against Butts. Reed misses high with a 92-mile-an-hour heater. It is 1-2. I told you after the first inning, Reed just gets better with age. And as this game's gone on, he has proven that. Clarkson takes strike 3 called. 92 painted on the outside corner. And Reed Butts has a season-high 8 punch-outs tonight. Butts just 1 shy of his career high. And the Ballers still trail 2-0. Heading to the 7th on 860 AM The Answer. Ballers need to get the bats going here in the top of the 7th inning in Glacier. Oakland is being shut out. Just 3 hits so far in the game. None since Cam Buford's double in the 4th. He'll lead it off for Oakland here in the top of the 7th against Ty Bothwell, who's been nearly perfect today. Nevada Cullen with you. Chris Doors back in our 860 AM The Answer studio. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate your listenership. Cam Buford extended his hit streak to 4 with his 4th inning 2-bagger ripped into the right center field gap. What can he do here against Ty Bothwell, who's been dominant? First pitch is high for strike 1. I don't think Buford liked the call. That's because it should have been called a ball. But Bothwell has certainly earned those calls on the corner, although that was just off the corner. Buford swings at 91, high and in. So it's 0-2 with no one on. Buford leading off the 7th and takes a pitch in the turf. Buford, a .364 on base percentage. That's not fantastic compared to his .321 average, but he's slugging at a high clip, .524. So this is what you want from a 5-hitter, a guy that's going to hit some big bombs. Good hold there. You could see he wanted to swing, and he still took the breaking ball low. 2-2 on Cam. Buford 1 for 2 in the game. Bothwell got him the first time with a K. Buford got him the second time with a double. Bothwell asks for Angel Mendoza to roll through the signs again before coming set. Working from the stretch, he comes home, and he misses high and away. 92-mile-an-hour fastball. Bothwell's pitch count is 85. So the leash won't be too much longer. Payoff here. Buford takes ball 4. That's a big walk. It's only the second of the game issued by Bothwell, who, if you look at his season numbers, doesn't walk many. That's just his 14th walk compared to now 68 Ks. Christian Almanza next. You have a feeling he'd rather walk Buford than give up a homer to make it a 1-run game. And now it's Almanza who is 0 for 2 so far against the lefty Bothwell. Lefty-lefty battle. Nobody out, runner at first. First pitch, high and tight, nowhere close. And that'll prompt Angel Mendoza to come out and talk to Bothwell. And a 2-0 game, the start of the 7th inning. The Ballers trail 2-0. Between the 6th today and the last 4 innings yesterday, the Ballers have not scored in their last 10 innings. Have to go back to the 5th inning yesterday to see the 3 runs that they scored. That was enough for a 3-1 win in the opener of this series, the opening series of the second half. Buford takes his lead at first base. 1-0 to Christian Almanza. Will wait as it's lobbed over by Bothwell, predicting that Buford will steal. That's a decent prediction. Buford is second on the team with his 17 thefts. 1-0. Bothwell kicks and fires. Almanza takes low. Ballers increasing in patience here in the 7th. Already a walk by Buford on 3-2. Now Almanza had a hitter's count here, seeking a fastball on 2-0. Instead, he takes a strike on the outside corner. A pitch that maybe was a fastball. Couldn't really tell. Had the spin rate of one, but 87 miles an hour. 2-1. Almanza swings and lofts it in the air, deep left field. Ashworth is there, makes the catch shy of the track for out number 1. So Almanza, back-to-back flyouts to left field for him. Bothwell's pitch count now north of 90, 91 to be exact. And there's finally action in the Glacier Pen. That's a welcome sight for Oakland, no matter who it is. I think it's Davis Pratt who threw yesterday. Here is Dylan Tatum. He represents the tying run here in the 7th. First pitch is high, 1-0. That one should have been called a strike, really, on the high outside corner. But Mendoza didn't want to risk losing Glacier's last challenge. So 1-0 on Tatum. 1 out, top of the 7th. Glacier leads Oakland 2-0. Pitch. Tatum fouls it back. He got a fastball on the outer half, and he missed it. One count, 1 out. Tatum, heel on the chalk. He swings and pops it up lazily. Foul territory, foul ground. Rago has it. Two-handed squeeze for out number 2. Tatum, who's excellent against left-handed pitching, 0 for 3 in this game. Bothwell's just been too good. And now it's Bothwell against Allgaier. Likely the last batter Bothwell will face in this game. He is at 94 pitches. 2 outs, runner on first for Oakland, trailing 2-0 in the top of the 7th inning. Bothwell putting on a Pioneer League Pitcher of the Week-like performance today. Finds the bottom of the zone, gets the knees of Allgaier. 0-1. Allgaier is 0 for 1 today with a flyout and a walk. Switch hitter batting righty. Allgaier takes outside. Just off the edge. 1-1. Allgaier acquired via trade on Monday from the American Association's Gary South Shore Railcats. Ryan Pierce was released. Getting back to first is Buford, a throw over there from Bothwell. Buford safe. Buford walked to start this inning. But 2 fly ball outs for Bothwell since. 1-1. Allgaier takes outside and a little bit high. It's 2-1. Darryl Buggs, the second on deck. Allgaier this season, 2025, he has struggled at the plate, a 190 batting average and 100 at-bats at Gary. Another toss to first, lazily lobbed over, and that gives Buford the incentive to run here with 2 outs in the top of the 7th. Oakland needs to manufacture a run. Bothwell comes home. Allgaier shoots it through the right side base hit. Buford just coasts to second base. Clarkson throws it in, and one hops it to the cutoff man, the shortstop, Howell. So Buford just goes first to second, does not test the strong arm of Clarkson, and Jake Allgaier has his first hit of the game and second Oakland hit. And that was the last batter for Bothwell. Interesting spot to pull him, and I don't think Buggs will be the hitter to face the new pitcher, Pratt. I think it's going to be Lou Helmick, but we shall see. Only time will tell. Ballers finally get their 4th hit of the game, knocking Bothwell out, who nearly completed 7 scoreless innings tonight in Kalispell. 2-0, Ballers trail in the top of the 7th. New pitcher, we'll tell you about him when you come back on 860 AM The Answer. New pitcher, new hitter. Davis Pratt on for Glacier. Lou Helmick will pinch hit with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th, and 2 ballers aboard after the Jake Allgaier single through the right side to knock Ty Bothwell out of this game. He threw 6 2/3 of 4 hit, no run baseball, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. He was responsible for Buford at second and Allgaier at first base. Davis Pratt is the new pitcher. Tuesday against Oakland, that's yesterday, did not allow a hit and struck out 2. And Pratt pitched the 9th. He did strike out Darryl Buggs. He did not face Lou Helmick. And so Pratt is making his 22nd appearance, 3.63 ERA, 2-0 record for the righty, 25 years old from Albuquerque, New Mexico, 22 innings and a third, 17 hits, 11 walks, 21 strikeouts. Pratt has allowed just 2 earned runs in 8 2/3 innings in July, and he's making his 6th appearance against Oakland. He has to face the pinch hitter in the 9 spot for Buggs. It's Lou Helmick standing in for the left side. Helmick takes low, ball 1. Ballers trail 2-0, top of the 7th. Helmick is Oakland's best hitter with runners in scoring position, hitting .469. That is 23 for 49 in this scenario. Helmick takes way inside. It's a wild pitch. Both runners move up. That was a fastball that nearly hit Lou low and in at 92. And it's 2-0 on Helmick. So now he has 2 runners in scoring position. Helmick with a runner in scoring position yesterday. Hit and walked. He had a plate appearance with a runner in scoring position and walked in that situation. Again, 23 hits with runners in scoring position this year. A single here through the infield ties the game. Helmick takes low, 3-0, and looks like he'll walk again. Trey Cobb will potentially hit with the bases loaded for a second straight game to start this series. 2-0 Oakland trails, top of the 7th. Wild pitch advanced Buford to third and Allgaier to second base. Might Lou swing away here? It's 3-0. The pitch from Pratt is not even close. And Trey Cobb better be taken too, because Pratt just missed on 4 straight. And there's action in the Glacier bullpen already. Luke Cooper going. And I wouldn't be surprised if he comes in at some point soon in this ball game. But with the tying run at second base in Allgaier, here is Tremaine Cobb Jr., who drove in the first run of the game yesterday for Oakland with a ground out. First pitch outside, 5 straight misses from Pratt. He walked Helmick, the pinch hitter, on 4 pitches. Buford's at third, Allgaier's at second. 2 outs, 2-0. Oakland trails Glacier. Top of the 7th pitch. Cobb takes, finally a strike. The breaking ball at 81 miles an hour. So now you have to wonder, with the wildness of the fastball, possibly does Pratt go back to the breaking ball here? 1-1 to Cobb. Cobb takes way outside. Again, that is a breaking ball, and that's nowhere close. I seriously don't think, even with 1 strike for Cobb, that there's a reason to swing here. He's got to see something right down the middle with Pratt's inconsistency so far, especially with the bases loaded. 2-1 toss. Cobb takes in, 92-mile-an-hour fastball, nowhere close, and Pratt is a pitch away from walking in the first run of the game for Oakland. Nick Leahy is on deck for the Ballers. Cobb today is 1 for 3 with a strikeout, 104-mile-an-hour single in the third. Hitters count here, 3-1. Pitch from Pratt. Cobb takes near the eyeballs. He had to lean away, and Pratt comes in and walks in a run, walking back-to-back batters here in the 7th. It's Glacier 2, Oakland 1, still 2 outs. Bases still full for Nick Leahy. And already, Todd Pratt will take out Davis Pratt, who just did not have it today, trying to work on back-to-back games. And now Luke Cooper is going to come in and face Nick Leahy. A lefty will come in to face the righty. And I'm just going to keep it here. We're not going to send to a break because we already did that once in this inning. And there's not much to tell you about the performance from Pratt. He does not record an out. He walks 2. And also Bothwell will finish with, unfortunately for him, 1 earned run allowed in this game. No shutout because of the walk for Cobb that brought in Buford, who Bothwell had walked. And so Pratt was inconsistent, to say the least. He only threw 1 strike out of 9 pitches, and that means it is Luke Cooper to come in and try to keep Glacier in front in this tight ball game. It's 2-1. Oakland trails here in the top of the 7th inning. Bases loaded, 2 outs for Luke Cooper. And he hasn't even started warming up yet. Yeah, never mind. I'm sending us to a break. 2-1. We'll tell you about Cooper when you come back on 860 AM The Answer. Thank you very much, Chris Dorr, for getting us back on air just in time to tell you that Davis Pratt is still in this ball game. Pratt, for whatever reason, not able to be removed here. He had faced only 2 batters, but I was under the impression that according to Pioneer League rules, you do not have a minimum as a relief pitcher in the Pioneer League. I will seek further confirmation on that later. Tyler Peterson saying this is totally wrong. I agree that Pratt should be able to be pulled from this game. And I believe that the umpiring crew is incorrect in not letting the new pitcher, Cooper, into this game. So Todd Pratt, the manager for Glacier, is talking with these umpires and trying to figure out the rules with them, because they would be incorrect to not let Glacier make the pitching change. And they're not going to let Glacier make the pitching change after all. So the umpires are incorrect here in not letting Glacier make the move. Tyler Peterson just confirmed with me that Pratt should not have to face Leahy here. It should be Cooper. Fortunately for Pratt, this could end up being good for him if he can get out of this inning. That would be a huge confidence boost. If he were to have exited after facing just 2 batters, that can really ding your confidence as he walked the only 2 batters he faced. He's getting some warm-up pitches right now to reset the situation. The Ballers have the bases loaded and 2 outs in the top of the 7th inning, and Nick Leahy is the batter with a chance to tie the game for Oakland or give the Ballers the lead. Leahy digging in from the right side. Todd Pratt still talking to his dugout, back facing the action, trying to maybe sort through the Pioneer League rule book, and now Pratt is back onto the field of play and is going to talk to the third base umpire. Now he's talking to Aaron Miles as well, the field manager for the Oakland Ballers, trying to get Pratt out of this game and Cooper into this game. The benefit, if Glacier's able to make the change after all, Cooper will have plenty of time to warm up. He was warming up in the bullpen for quite some time, and now the umpires will convene. This is the most head-scratching situation that I've seen, and now Pratt is pointing back out to the mound. And so for the second time tonight, Davis Pratt is being removed from the ball game. For the second time, Todd Pratt takes the baseball from his righty and hands it to his lefty, Luke Cooper. We are going to step aside. I'll be right back on 860 AM The Answer. Okay, a lot of confusion that just happened, and I'll explain why it happened momentarily. The Ballers trail the Glacier Range Riders with 2 outs and the bases loaded in the top of the 7th. It is 2-1, the Ballers trail. The new pitcher is Luke Cooper. The new batter is Nick Leahy, who's attempting to tie this game for the Ballers or give them the lead. Last time he hit a ball 105 off the bat, but lined out. He's 0 for 3 today, and the first pitch to him is ripped back to the screen. 0-1. Luke Cooper is the new pitcher after all. Pitched a scoreless inning yesterday and struck out 2. Cooper making his 25th appearance of the year. He's got a 3.99 ERA. Nick Leahy is frustrated. Now a late time is granted to Leahy because the pitcher, Cooper, did not establish eye contact with the pitcher. That should actually be an illegal pitch and a ball. But I think the count is 0-1 after they call time in the end. 0-1. Leahy rips it right field. This game is at least tied. 1 run scores. Here comes Helmig. He's chugging home. The throw is cut off, and Nick Leahy gives the Ballers a 3-2 lead in the 7th with an RBI, a 2-run knock into right field. Luke Cooper is furious with the home plate umpire as Alec Conwell granted Nick Leahy a very late time on what could have been strike 2. Instead, Leahy comes through. The hot-hitting Leahy drives in 2 more runs and is up to 26 RBI on the year. 3-2 Ballers lead. Now it's Davis Druick. Lefty-lefty battle. First pitch ambush. Line drive right to the second baseman Beard. And after all that, the Ballers take the lead in the 7th. 3-2 Ballers lead for the first time today, and Reed Butts might just go back out to the hill. We shall see. And he would be the pitcher of record regardless in this game. Bottom of the 7th when you return on 860 AM The Answer. Well, that was a chaotic top of the 7th, wasn't it, folks? It's 3-2 Ballers over Glacier on 860 AM The Answer. Bottom of the 7th is here from Kalispell. Reed Butts is still on the hill. He needs 1 more strikeout for a 9th, which would tie his career high. 2 more to set a new career high, and Reed has thrown 88 pitches, so this is his final frame. Will he complete the frame? It remains to be seen. Liniak, Rego, and Mendoza do up 6, 7, and 8 against Butts here in the bottom of the 7th. I'm Nevada Cullen, here to explain what happened in the top of the 7th. So, first of all, Liniak digging in from the right side against the lefty Butts. 1 for 2 today with an RBI single and a strikeout is Liniak. Close stance righty. First pitch from Reed is a strike, 0-1. So, what happened? Well, the Ballers had 2 on with 2 outs in the 7th after the single from Allgaier. It knocked out Ty Bothwell of the game, the starter. There's another strike from Reed, 0-2. Challenged by Liniak. And that's right on the corner. Glacier out of challenges. Reed Butts is 1 strike away from his 9th punch-out. I'll explain more of what happened at the top of this inning after this 0-2 pitch from Reed Butts. From the windup, he comes home and ties his career high. Strikeout number 9 for Reed Butts. He blows it past Kingston Liniak for out number 1 here in the bottom of the 7th. So, again, what happened in the top of the 7th? Well, the Ballers with an RBI chance, 2 on, chance to tie the game in the 7th inning. And so Todd Pratt goes to his pen. There's a strike, 0-1 on Rego. He goes to Davis Pratt, who walks both batters he faces, walking in a run. And Todd Pratt says no more. There's only room in this town for 1 Pratt. As Rego takes the strike at the bottom of the zone, 0-2. He tries to pull Pratt. The umpires say that's not allowed. In MLB, it's not allowed. In Pioneer League, it is in fact allowed. 0-2. Ground ball, slowly hit towards third, rolls foul. And so because the umpires are thinking a relief pitcher has to face a minimum of 3 batters or at least finish an inning, they were thinking that, which would have made the move illegal. 0-2 pitch again. Fly to center field, shallow. Racing in is Bugs. He's got plenty of time to get there. He camps underneath for out number 2. But anyways, that was the confusion. The umpires were confusing the Major League rule with the Pioneer League rule, and that's why Davis Pratt ended up being pulled twice in the same inning. After all that confusion, the umpires ended up making the right call. And then even after all that, Luke Cooper, the pitcher, did not make eye contact with Nick Leahy. I believe it should have been a 1-1 count. He did not engage the batter, The umpire called time last minute to say, my bad, I should have stopped the play. Leahy on the very next pitch, 2-run single to take the lead for Oakland. First pitch to Angel Mendoza is high for a ball, 1-0. 2 out, bases empty in the bottom of the 7th. Oakland leads Glacier 3-2 after trailing 2-0 for 6 innings, basically. 1-0. Mendoza takes just below the knees, 2-0. Wind is not blowing in like it was yesterday. American flag hanging limp in right center. 2-0 from the lefty butts to the righty Mendoza. Swing and a miss. Good pitch from Reed. The changeup. It's 2-1 on Mendoza. Wielding a gold bat with a red handle. 2-1 pitch. The righty swings and misses. Ugly hack at the changeup. 2-2 with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. Reed Butts on the hill. 1 pitch away from a new career high in strikeouts and tying his career high in innings with another 7-inning effort. 2-2 toss. Swing, and the ball pops out of the mitt of Tatum. He dove to try to catch it, and he could not corral the foul tip. Love the effort from Dylan. That was pitch 100 for Reed Butts. He threw 107 last time he faced Glacier, attempting to beat them for the 3rd time in 3 tries this year, hoping to tie the franchise record for wins. The 2-2 from Reed is low, 3-2. This, you would have to imagine, is Reed's last batter, as his pitch count surpasses 100. On pitch number 102, Butts from the windup fires. Line drive through the left side, base hit. Mendoza picks up the first hit since JT Mabry's single in the 5th inning, and that will bring out Aaron Miles. Now, does Reed want to stick out there? Aaron Miles has already pointed to the pen, and Reed Butts catches the throwback from Dylan Tatum. Here comes Chewy. Reed Butts take a bow. 6 2/3. Tied for a career high 9 strikeouts tonight, and he will give his teammates some fist bumps. An awesome effort from Reed Butts. He exits as the pitcher of record. Ballers in front, 3-2 in the bottom of the 7th. New pitcher, when you return, we'll tell you about Chewy on 860 AM The Answer. Take a bow, Reed Butts. 6 2/3 of 2-run baseball tonight. The Ballers lead 3-2 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Mendoza with a 2-out single extends his hit streak to 9 games, and that brings in Chewy, making his 23rd appearance of the year. Connor Richardson has a 2.51 ERA, a 3-0 record, 28 2/3 innings, 26 hits, 4 walks, 23 strikeouts for the righty. Saturday against Rocky Mountain got roughed up, 3 hits and a homer allowed, 3 earned runs in 1 inning of work against the Vibes. Open to bounce back with another good performance against Glacier. First pitch is a strike to Mabry. 0-1. 2 outs. Runner at first for Glacier in the bottom of the 7th. 3-2. Ballers lead. Oh, this is a pinch hitter, not Mabry. Mabry is a right-handed batter. This is Kenny Lavari for Glacier. Lavari hitting for Mabry to get a lefty in there. He just took ball one. It's 1-1. The 1-1 toss from Chewy. In there for a strike. Glacier's out of challenges. They can't challenge. It won't matter. It was a strike anyways. High outside corner. Butts, 6 2/3, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, a walk, and a tied career high 9 strikeouts tonight for Reed. 1-2 from Chewy. Got him swinging. Blew 92 by him. Top of the zone. Foul tip into the mitt of Tatum. And that's all she wrote for Glacier in the 7th. As Reed Butts, his line is final. Just 2 earned runs allowed in 6 2/3 innings. In line for his tied for a franchise record 7th win of the year. He would improve to 6-1 if the Ballers can hold on tonight. Chewy gets the K to end the frame, and the Ballers lead 3-2. Heading to the 8th on 860 AM. The Answer. The Ballers lead 3-2 in the top of the 8th inning. Looking for some insurance now to support Reed Butts, who is in line for his 7th win of the year, which would tie the franchise record. Here's Danny Harris against Luke Cooper to start this inning. It is outside and high, 1-0. Cooper gave up a triple to Danny Harris the first time these two faced off. Harris late shoots one off the netting and into the Oakland dugout. Looks like a nice grab was made by Davis Druick in there. And the ball is chucked across the dugout by Jim Diedrich. Must be nice for Jim to get to be in the dugout. There's a strike on the outside corner, 1-2. I guess he does pop in the dugout probably occasionally during the Ballers games, but it's a lot further from the bullpen out in the outfield in Oakland. Harris swings and misses at a pitch in the turf, and Danny Harris is chirping the home plate umpire, Alec Conwell. Man, there's a lot of words being had. Danny's warned now by Conwell. And James Harris is coming to his aid. I'll have to see what that is about after the game. I wonder if it's Cooper working quickly against Harris. He got the strikeout. Cooper right there. First pitch from Cooper here to Cam Buford is a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. It's the most animated I've seen Danny. Oh, that's challenged by Buford, and that did just miss. So Buford's correct. Oakland's now 1 of 2 on challenges tonight. That's the first correct challenge by either side. I don't know what Alec Conwell did to make Harris mad, but he's been good tonight behind the plate both ways. Pitch inside on Buford, 2-0. Buford in this game has been productive. Strikeout, but then a double, a walk, and a run scored. Buford takes high and away, called a strike. The zone seems to be expanding a bit. That one was a generous call. Pitch hugging the outside corner. That's low and in, though, and it's 3-1 on Buford. 1 out, bases empty. 3-2 Ballers lead in the top of the 8th here in Kalispell. Check if we have any more finals. One game almost final. Yuba Sutter leads 12-5 in Grand Junction. That's in the top of the 9th. We do have another final. Ball hit back to the screen by Buford, 3-2. Ogden and Idaho Falls apparently loves the knockout round. They either have finished it or are right now playing another knockout round as the game finished in a 3-3 tie. Buford line drive towards short, picked by Howell. Nice play, throw to first in time to get Cam. 2 down. Let's see if I can watch this game. See if the knockout round is still going. Oh, the Chuckers win the knockout round against the Raptors. Pitch high and in to Almanza. Wow, so it's a doubleheader sweep for the Chuckers. You know what, actually? That ball launched to left field by Almanza. It is out of here. Off the base of the scoreboard, Almanza goes big fly the other way for a solo bomb. And a necessary insurance run. It's 4-2 Oakland. Almanza's 15th of the year. Christian Almanza goes the other way. Got a middle fastball from Pratt and did not miss it. From Cooper, rather. That's a left-on-left homer for Almanza. 99 off the bat. 382 feet. Not hit all that hard, all things considered, as Tatum takes ball 1, 1-0. But for Almanza, that's 15 homers now this season. He is in the top 10 in the Pioneer League, entered tied for 6th in the league. Roberto Pena has 24. Tatum takes low and in, 2-0. Anyways, regardless of result out in Idaho Falls, Chuckers and Raptors are indeed playing 2 games that will finish in the knockout round. Tatum swung and missed just now. It's 2-1. Wow, okay. I have the update from Tyler Peterson. Yes, Idaho Falls Chuckers. Shane Spencer throws a complete game, 7 innings with just 3 earned runs allowed. McCaffrey drove in all 3 runs in the game for Idaho Falls. He had a 2-run game-tying homer in the bottom of the 7th. Wow. Pitch outside to Tatum, 3-1. But most importantly, former baller Gabe Vasquez, who was on the spring training roster, 2 knockout round wins today for the Idaho Falls Chuckers. Congrats, Gabe. That's awesome. Tatum swings and misses. It's 3-2. So, yes, indeed, the Chuckers sweep the double dip with 2 knockout round wins. Almanza with a 2-out homer. Now it's 3-2 on Tatum. Can the Ballers go back-to-back? No, not on that pitch. It's a ground ball foul towards the Glacier bullpen, and it leaks into left field. Ballers finally went back-to-back against the Vibes on Sunday. That was their first time going back-to-back this year. Tatum hits one sharply to short. Fielded by Howell, his throw to first. In time. That's out number 3. But Christian Almanza gives the Ballers an insurance run in the top of the 8th inning with his 15th bomb of the year, an Oppo Taco. And it's 4-2 Oakland heading to the home 8th on 860 AM. The Answer. Ballers lead 4-2 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Still Chewy on the hill after he relieved Reed Butts in the 7th. Ballers lead 4-2 because of a Christian Almanza solo bomb in the top of this inning. The first homer of the second half for the Oakland Ballers. So Chewy will face the top of this Glacier lineup here in the top of the 8th. It's Ashworth, Howell, and Beard due up. I am Nevada Cullen. Chris Dorr back in our 860 AM, the Anster Studios. And I want to say thank you to everyone tuning in on 860 and on YouTube. Someone commenting, did I hear Oppo Taco on a Wednesday? Yes, I did call Almanza's homer an Oppo Taco. There can be Oppo Taco Wednesdays. Ben wants to call it a backside boogie. It was indeed a backside boogie. That's probably the best name for an Oppo Taco. Pitch outside to Ashworth to start the bottom of the 8th, 1-0. If you want, I can reserve the Oppo Tacos for Tuesday and refer to them as backside boogies the rest of the week. I'm not opposed to that. 1-0. There's a strike. 1-1 on Ashworth. He is 1 for 3 today with a strikeout, a run scored, and a double. Scored after doubling in the first inning. Santa Ana, California native. Ashworth, the lefty. Swings and shoots one just foul down the left field line. It's 1-2. How about the Ballers pitching staff in this series? So far, they have allowed just 3 runs on a whopping 10 hits. That's not a lot. Not over 2 games. Ashworth softly hit ground ball. A few hops to second base. Harris throws to first high. Almanza comes down with it for out number 1. So 1 up, 1 down here in the 8th for Connor Richardson. Next, he'll face Gabe Howell. Howell the righty against Chewy the righty. Howell today is 0 for 3. He is just 4 for 41 against Oakland this year. Chewy trying to make it 4 for 42, and he locates a strike on Howell there on the outer portion. 0-1. Chewy certainly a shoe-in for the first half All-Stars in the Pioneer League. Pitch outside, 1-1. It was so funny before this game today. James Collier comes up to me in the clubhouse and says, thanks for, saying I should be an all-star on the air yesterday. I said, guy, you have a 3.5 ERA. That's all-star stuff. In the Pioneer League, 1-1's a strike, 1-2. If you have a ERA under 5 in the Pioneer League, that's looked at as you're an all-star automatically. It is an offensive-heavy league dominated by Oakland's pitching staff. Howell takes high. It's 2-2. Oakland's pitching staff, by the way, I haven't updated y'all in a while. 4.29 team ERA. That is more than a run better than Missoula in second at 5.35. Glacier's in fourth at 5.65. That's not too bad at all. 2-2 from Chewy to Howell. Is rolled over slowly, third base side. Foul. And ends up with the bullpen catcher out in left, who tosses it like a grenade into the berm in left field. There's nothing explosive about the baseball. He just threw it up like a hook shot, almost like he was a Tampa Bay Ray celebrating a single or a double. Ground ball, hit to third, diving stop. Leahy gets up, throws to first, in time! Chest bump from Trey Cobb. Nick Leahy absolutely deserves that celebration with his shortstop after making a highlight reel play for out number 2. Howell hit it weakly towards the 5-6 hole. Leahy laid out on the turf, surely tearing up his arm, and stopped the ball from getting to left field, and then got up in time and threw out Howell by a step for out number 2. Awesome play from Leahy. Here's Logan Beard with 2 outs, hacking a miss at the 92-mile-an-hour heater north of the zone, 0-1. 2 outs, base is empty, 4-2 Ballers lead here in the bottom of the 8th here in Kalispell. 0-1, fouled away, 0-2. Ballers defense, I kind of gave them some slack yesterday. Or maybe I didn't cut them any slack. They made 2 errors, and I was comparing it to the early part of the season where they were making a bunch of errors left and right. Well, today they've been clean and they've sparkled. Ground ball foul, still 0-2 for Beard. 2 awesome defensive plays in this game for Oakland. The first was Bugs robbing a hit in right center, robbing Mendoza of extra bases with a diving catch. Now Leahy in the 8th. 0-2 from Chewy. He misses high. 1-2. One and two, righty-righty battle. Beard is 1 for 3 today with an RBI single and a strikeout. Tack on another K as Connor Richardson throws an off-speed pitch. And now the Ballers are really enjoying life right now, looking for their 6th straight win, leading 4-2 against the Glacier Range Riders after 8 here from Kalispell. Final frame when you return on 860 AM The Answer. The Ballers are in front at the start of the 9th inning on National Hot Dog Day. As someone reminded me in the YouTube comments, happy National Hot Dog Day, especially to Mayor Mike. Mike, the hot dog mayor, the amazing hot dog vendor for the Oakland Ballers. It's a 4-2 Oakland lead here in the top of the 9th inning. And on for Glacier is a reliever turned starter turned back to reliever in Rain Supple. Supple comes on for the 9th. Pitched a scoreless inning on Saturday at Billings. Supple is making his 3rd appearance against Oakland. First 2 were starts. He's got a 5.8 ERA, 1-4 record, 12 appearances, 6 starts, 35 2/3 innings pitched, 38 hits, 19 walks, 37 strikeouts, and he's really back into the closer role for Glacier that he assumed in the playoffs last year. He only had 1 save in the regular season, but he had, I think, 1 or 2 saves in the playoffs. Now, Allgaier gets the hit from the left side for the first time today. He got his first hit as a righty against Ty Bothwell in the 7th. Second game for him for the Ballers, Jake Allgaier. Switch hitting, DH today, fouls one off to the left side, off the netting, 0-2. So Supple making his 13th appearance of the year, 26-year-old righty from Shelburne, Vermont, facing Jake Allgaier, who's 1 for 2. Allgaier, line drive into center field, base hit. He's got his first multi-hit game as a Baller, and both hits have come from either side of the plate. A single from the right side, now a line drive single into maybe slightly left center field from the left side. A 2-strike single at that. And Allgaier has his first multi-hit game as an Oakland Baller. Brings up Darryl Buggs, who was pinch hit for by Helmick in the 7th. Buggs is 0 for 2 with a strikeout today. Buggs bunts, drops it down, picked up by Mendoza, only throws to first. Buggs was trying to bunt for a hit. Allgaier advances to second, and Mendoza throws him out 2-3. It was a weird bunt, weird sounding. It bounced kind of behind Buggs, and he didn't hit it far enough away from the plate for Mendoza not to throw him out. Still, it's a productive out, and now there's a runner in scoring position with 1 out in the top of the 9th. Ballers up 4-2. And not only that,
Bugs does a good job of putting a runner in scoring position for the top of the lineup in Tremaine Cobb Jr. RBI walk last time up. Cobb this time takes away for ball one. 1-0, one out. Runner at second for the Ballers in the top of the ninth inning, up 4-2 on Glacier. Ballers looking for win number 39 on the year, number 2 of the second half, number 6 in a row. Cobb takes the knees for a strike. 1-1. Ballers up by 2. The last pitcher for Glacier was Luke Cooper through 1 1/3 innings, 2 hits allowed, and 1 earned run. Cobb hard hit to first, taking it himself. Rego scoops up the ground ball and tags the bag for out number 2. Allgaier moves to third. Now it's up to Nick Leahy to get him in. It was Leahy who gave the Ballers the lead in the 7th with a 2-run single. Ballers up 4-2, 2 outs in the top of the 9th. Can Leahy bring home just one more insurance run before Connor Sullivan enters in the 9th for Oakland on back-to-back nights? Leahy takes way inside. Fastball brushed him back. 96 out of the hand of Rain Supple. That might have been intentional to just brush him back. 1-0. Leahy takes low. 2-0. After all, it was Leahy who gave the Ballers the lead with his 2-run single in the 7th, not without some controversy. After Cooper originally wasn't able to come in the game, then he delivered a pitch. Leahy called time late. Leahy hack and a miss on the breaking ball. Really devastating wipeout slider there from Supple. It's 2-1. Leahy came to Kalispell hot, had 11 RBI in the home series against Rocky Mountain, and has driven in 2 tonight. Runner at third is Allgaier with 2 outs in the top of the 9th, 4-2 Ballers. Leahy, swing, grounds it foul of first. He did not mean to swing at the 95-mile-an-hour heater in on the hands. Supple just continuing to pound the zone in. Really, he hasn't thrown a strike in. I guess he did throw one of those balls in for a strike to Leahy, but otherwise they've been very tight. Now Leahy bounces one up the middle, base hit. Allgaier scores. Leahy with a 3 RBI game. Another insurance run for Oakland. They've scored all 5 of their runs over the final 3 innings. It's 5-2 Ballers here in the 9th. 2-run single in the 7th, 2-strike single here in the 9th with 2 outs in the inning. And he got a breaking ball over the middle of the plate and did not miss it. Leahy has now driven in 27 runs in just 29 games. Davis Druick next. First pitch out. Line drive, though, last time. Druick takes outside. It's 1-0. How about the Ballers producing a run here in the 9th? Their traditional way. Get him on, get him over, get him in. Druick late hack and a miss. 1-1. Oh, I'm going to assume y'all could hear that on the crowd mic. I muted myself, but that was a brutal cough I just had. 1-1 on Druick. Righty Supple fires. Druick takes a strike. Top of the zone. Druick today is 1 for 4, despite barely swinging the bat. He has a hit. Little dribbler down the third base line his first time up. Leahy, after his RBI knock, is at first base. 5-2 Ballers in the top of the 9th. Pitch from Supple. Druick takes high and away. Been a quiet series so far for Druick. He has 1 for his first 7 with 4 strikeouts, despite a lot of success in the opening 2 series against Glacier this season. 2-2. Runner goes. That's ball 3. A dart from Mendoza, and Leahy is toast. He would have been safe, but his slide slowed him down, and his foot popped into the air. He was sliding feet first, and Mendoza erases another runner. That is his 9th runner caught stealing this season. And actually, that's number 10 this year. He caught 22 last season. So Druick would lead off the 10th if extra innings were a thing in the Pioneer League. They are not. Leahy is caught stealing to end Oakland's offensive efforts in this game. They score 5 runs in the final 3 innings, and now it's silly time. 5-2 Ballers heading to the bottom of the 9th on 860 AM The Answer. Ninth inning, that means silly time. Ballers leading 5-2 in the bottom of the 9th inning. They've scored all 5 runs in the last 3 innings to take the lead late against Glacier. Trying to give the incomparable Reed Butts his 7th win of the season, which would tie a franchise record. Sully going for a franchise record 12th save tonight. His first pitch to Xavier Casarella is a strike, pumped in. Top of the zone, 91. Glacier out of challenges, by the way. 5-2 Ballers lead as we start the bottom of the 9th inning. 4, 5, and 6 to face Sully. Next pitch, it's a strike on the outer half, nothing in 2. Sully, 2.88 ERA, 0-1 record. 24 appearances, 25 innings pitched. 11 saves, 14 hits, 9 walks, 30 Ks. 2-strike toss. Called a ball, 92. Tatum challenges. Oakland is 1 for 2 today. Make it 2 for 3. Tatum was right, and Casarella strikes out looking to start the bottom of the 9th. That was a perfect pitch, 92, the very top outside corner from Sully with the fastball. 1 out, base is empty. TJ Clarkson next. He's 0 for 3 in this game. 2 strikeouts in the game for Clarkson. 1 out, bases empty, 5-2 Ballers lead in the bottom of the 9th. First from Sully is high. His first ball, 92-mile-an-hour fastball, called a ball, even though, according to TrackMan, that was a strike at the top of the zone. So it's 1-0. Sully from the windup locates a strike, bottom of the zone. 1-1. Sully yesterday got the save. Did give up a hit, no runs, and a strikeout. 1-1. That just missed the inside corner. 2-1. His hit allowed yesterday, get this, only the 2nd hit allowed by Sully against Glacier this year. 2-1. Clarkson pops it up, left side, foul ground. Leahy over towards the Range Riders dugout, has room, makes the put away for out number 2. Ballers 1 out away from a 6th consecutive win. Yes, get this. Connor Sullivan's numbers against the Range Riders this year. 7 appearances, 3 saves, 8 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts. I mean, come on. That's not even fair. The Martinez native trying to close this one out. 6-5 on the hill. Mr. Sullivan. First pitch on the outside corner, strike 1. Nope, that was right down the middle. Liniak took it right down the pipe. He's 1 for 3 today with 2 strikeouts. Time is called. How about the Ballers that have pitched today? It's the YouTube peanut section with Reed Butts getting the start today. Jeff and Nancy, always loyal listeners on YouTube. 0-1 popped up to left field, and In shallow left, Tremaine Cobb Jr. is there to put the one-handed squeeze on the ball to end the game. Gives a little look over towards the fans out in left field foul ground. And Sully locks down his 12th save of the year, a franchise record. The Ballers win 5-2, a 6th straight win for the Ballers. And they are 2-0 to start the second half. Reed Butts improves to 7-1. He is now 1 win away from setting a new franchise record for wins in a season for the Ballers. He ties Christian Cosby and Zach St. Pierre with his 7th win of 2025. A pop-up ends it. Sully with a perfect 9th inning. Ballers win 5-2. And a quick one here from Kalispell. Post-game show when you return on 860 AM The Answer. Welcoming in my YouTube audience. I caught myself that time. I had muted myself. Post-game show starts now here on 860 AM The Answer and on YouTube as the Ballers win 5-2 against the Glacier Range Riders tonight in Kalispell. I'm Nevada Cullen. Thank you for tuning in on your Wednesday night. Really do appreciate you. And the Ballers won this one again because of the pitching and some clutch hitting. Same recipe for yesterday's 3-1 win resulted in today's 5-2 win. And today, it started really with Glacier on the front foot. It felt like the Glacier Range Riders might win 2-0 with a complete game shutout from Ty Bothwell. That's not exactly how it happened. Here is how it happened. Kyle Ashworth led off the game for Glacier with a double against Reed Butts. Logan Beard had a single dumped into right for an RBI, and then Kingston Liniak singled to right field for a second RBI knock of the inning. So 2-0 Glacier. They would not score for the rest of the game. Oakland had Reed Butts on the hill, and Reed pitched 6 2/3 tonight, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, a walk, and a career high, tied for a career best, 9 strikeouts. 4 looking Ks. Butts threw 102 pitches tonight. Awesome effort from Reed for his 7th win of the season. On the other side, though, it looked like Ty Bothwell was not going to allow anything over the course of this game. He had a shutout going into the 7th, but then enter the 7th inning. And this is where things really kicked off. Because Buford walks, then there's 2 outs in the inning, and Allgaier singles to knock Bothwell out of the game. Now, would I have pulled Bothwell there despite his pitch count being high? I'm going to say it. No, I would not have pulled Bothwell there, especially with Bugs at the plate. Darryl was 0 for 2 against Bothwell in that game. And yes, Bugs easily could have been the one to put the Ballers on the board. But instead, Todd Pratt turns to Davis Pratt. No, that's not the coach's kid. They have no relation. And Pratt walked 2, including walking Cobbs, a walk and a run. At that time, in the top of the 7th with 2 outs, Cobb's walk made it 2-1 Glacier. Ballers were on the board. So what does Todd Pratt do? He goes to the bullpen. But the umpires say, not so fast. You can't do that because as Major League rules state, a pitcher must face 3 batters before going to the pen. So Cooper, the new pitcher, Luke Cooper, was on the mound. He was starting to throw his warm-up pitches. Then the umpires convened and said, no, got to go back to the bullpen and warm up because Pratt has to face 3 batters. Then, after long discussions and looks at the rule books, Tyler Peterson helping, I think, from the sidelines, from home, from Oakland, from Berkeley, TP was, making sure that Oakland knew, that everyone knew that Pratt was allowed to be pulled from the game, and Todd Pratt knew that as well for Glacier. The umpires eventually made the right call in the end. So Luke Cooper, after a long delay, eventually gets to come in and face Nick Leahy. Good luck. Nick Leahy, there was the weird play where he called time late. Really, I think the problem was Cooper didn't look at Nick Leahy, and you have to engage the batter if you're the pitcher. It's in the rules. You have to make eye contact. As a result, no pitch, and Leahy, instead of being down 0-2, it was 0-1. Maybe it should have been 1-1 with an illegal pitch. I guess you can warn a pitcher, so really, I think it was right to have the count still at 0-1. Either way, Nick Leahy, on the very next pitch after all that confusion, hits a 2-run single to right field to give the Ballers the lead. Leahy, with that clutch hit, put the Ballers up 3-2, and then the Ballers would tack on in the 8th. Christian Almanza with a solo shot to left, 382 feet off the base of the video board out in left field. His 15th homer, team-leading 15th bomb for Christian Almanza. He's top 10 in the league in long balls. Made it 4-2 Ballers. Then in the 9th, Jake Allgaier, his first multi-hit game as a baller. He scored twice tonight. He led off the inning with a single. Then Nick Leahy eventually drove him in with an RBI single up the middle. Leahy has now driven in a whopping 27 runs in 29 games as a pro. He is really just on fire. 13 RBI for Leahy over his last 8 games. And the Ballers led 5-2 heading to the 9th inning. Chewy, by the way, an inning and a third hitless. Awesome job by Chewy out of the pen to relieve Reed Butts. And then Connor Sullivan goes an inning, no hits, no runs, no walks, with 1 strikeout to earn his 12th save of the year. Again, Reed Butts improves to 7-1 on the year and now ties the Ballers franchise record for wins in a year with his 7th pitching victory. He's now 7-1. His ERA will fall even lower than the pre-existing 4.53 mark. And as for the Range Riders, the loss goes to, I believe, Ty Bothwell. I always get that confused because Bothwell was not the pitcher in the game when Glacier gave up the lead, but Bothwell's runs were enough to, actually that would only tie the game, so the loss would then go, I want to say, to Davis Pratt, even though Luke Cooper was the one to give up that go-ahead hit. It was Pratt's run, which was Helmick who had pinch hit. Helmick walked. He scored the go-ahead run in the game. So I believe that would make Davis Pratt suffer his first loss of 2025. He falls to 2-1 if that is indeed the case. I will confirm later on. Connor Sullivan, by the way, 12 saves. He is your first half all-star closer. I'm sure of it because first-team all-star, because he leads the league with now 12 saves. Already a Ballers franchise record. We'll have to start looking at that Pioneer League all-time record because Sully, to have 12 saves at this point in the season, that's just incredible. Through just 50 games, 12 saves is a really high number for this Ballers pitching staff that is the best in the Pioneer League. 5 runs on 8 hits for Oakland today, no errors. 2 runs on 5 hits for Glacier, no errors. Winning pitcher Butts, losing pitcher Pratt, save goes to Sullivan. And this game started at 7:10 local time, 9:37 it wrapped, 2:27 run time, and it ended, of course, at 8:37 p.m. back in the Bay. On this Wednesday, July 16th, happy birthday again to my dad, Patrick, and also happy birthday to Barbara Lee, the mayor of Oakland. It was a 77-degree temperature at first pitch, a really beautiful day here in Kalispell, and Glacier falls to 17-33, 0-2 in the second half. Oakland improves to 39-11, 2-0 in the second half of the Pioneer League season. Again, to refresh you on the scores from around the Pioneer League today, the U.S. Header High Wheelers beat the Grand Junction Jackalopes today 12-5. couple knockout round wins for the Idaho Falls Chuckers in a doubleheader. They sweep the doubleheader. Gabe Vasquez, the former baller, won both knockout rounds for them. And then to update you elsewhere, looks like the Boise Hawks have been defeated by the Colorado Springs Sox. So the Sky Sox, who play the Ballers next, are 2-0 to start the second half of the season, despite being the worst team in the first half. The Paddleheads lead the Voyagers in Missoula 15-5 in the top of the sixth. The Vibes won game one of a doubleheader with a comeback win against Billings. They lead again, having come back once more against the Mustangs in Billings 9-7 in the bottom of the sixth. Those are your Pioneer League scores. Oh, wait, one more. That's right. The Ballers win 5-2 against Glacier here in Kalispell. That does it for today's broadcast here from Kalispell, Montana. Our final score, Ballers 5, Glacier 2, a final in 9 innings. Also, the 6th straight win for the Oakland Ballers. Big thanks to those who helped make the broadcast possible, including Ballers co-founders Paul Friedman and Brian Carmel, Ballers assistant general manager Tyler Peterson, Brandon Colthurst, Isabella Haberman, Ben Verhoek, Mark Kahn, Laura Geist. I could go on and on. Give Casey Pratt a shout. Be sure to tune in to Bees Cast. That was just released by Ben Verhoek. And you can see Casey Pratt get an awesome tattoo on the Ballers YouTube channel. Thank you to you, the listener. We'll have more baseball coming up. Also, big thanks to Chris Dorr back at our 860 AM The Answer Studios. We'll have more baseball coming up. Our coverage of Thursday's Game 3 of the 6-game series will start at 6 p.m. pack time on 860 AM The Answer and on YouTube. Big shout out to everyone who tuned in tonight on 860 and on YouTube. Love you guys. We hope that you can join us. Again, our final score, 5-2, Ballers beat the Range Riders here in Kalispell. I'm Nevada Cullen saying so long, and thanks for listening to Oakland Baseball on 860 AM The Answer.